It's the Exit 52 podcast presented by Jimmy's Seafood, and I would like to open the podcast by saying, it's me. Hi, I'm Taylor Smythe. It's me. Great to join you guys on the podcast. Day after our instant analysis. Just 4 days after the release of the biggest album of the year, Midnights by Taylor Swift, which I'm sure we'll get into. Unless you want to get into it now, RDT, I'm sure you've listened to it about 6 million times. You got any thoughts?
I gave him a listen to once through. I was surprised at how short the album was. Like, I listened to it.
This is a guy who goes to bed way before 3 a.m.
No, yeah, there's no chance I was staying up for that. No.
Yeah, this is a guy that goes to bed. If we're not doing this podcast at 10, he's in bed by 9.
I fell asleep on the couch watching YouTube tonight with like a dad with my hands crossed on my chest, like you're like doing the falling asleep in class, like your head's nodding. Yeah, so I was. This is the perfect like Monday Night Football game to fall asleep to as well. So it was just the perfect combination. But no, there's not a shot I was staying up.
This game has been a good, bad game.
It has. It has been. It's a good, ugly game. But like, again, on paper, you're Bears, Patriots in the rain. Yeah, whatever. I've won my fantasy matchups for the week. I'm gonna try and get to bed at a decent hour.
I said I was going to give you guys a take before the show. This is the perfect time. You kind of perfectly segue into this take. There are not a lot of good teams in the NFL. And I know that's not a hot take, but it just struck me so much the last 24 hours watching these games. And it actually, because I felt like I was a little negative during the Ravens instant analysis yesterday, sort of talking about how I felt like it didn't give me a lot of hope for the rest of the year. I don't know if that's true. The Ravens could be super mediocre and make it to the AFC Championship game. There's just nobody good. Just nobody that good. That Giants team that's 5-1 that beat us. Squeaky. You and I watched the end of the game against Jacksonville, Banks. I mean, great. They beat Trevor Lawrence, a guy that I think if you're a Jaguars fan, by the way, you're getting a little nervous about the Trevor Lawrence situation. You're starting to get nervous. Yeah, you're starting to get very, very nervous.
I got to tell you what, I cannot wait to fade the Giants on wildcard weekend. I think I told you that on my way out the door yesterday.
That was like the last thing you said.
I've got that game circled twice. I don't know who they're going to play. They're not going to play at home because the Eagles are going to win that division running away. The only concern, though, to your point, though, is like they could play
the Vikings or someone, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know why the Vikings was the exact team that came to my mind. Like they could play. Yeah, an up and down Vikings team. I mean, Dallas is going to find their way into the playoffs too. They could be in there, which I'd feel great about betting them against the Giants in that spot. But you're right. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of great teams in the NFL right now. But is that a product of just the league-wide offense being down? Like people are just starting to finally talk about this. Offensive numbers are way down across the board.
Scoring's down, everything.
Yeah. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's just a perception versus reality thing where like we've just seen offensive numbers explode. And eventually there was going to be some things that brought those back down to earth a little bit. And so like I said the Trevor Lawrence thing. I look at Trevor Lawrence's numbers. It's really not that bad. 9 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's got 1,700 yards. He's completing 63% of his passes.
Handful of fumbles.
But correct. But then you watch him and you aren't like, and maybe just the quarterback barometer has just gotten so high with guys like Mahomes and Josh Allen, and what Aaron Rodgers does. And, obviously maybe not this year, but what he has done, what Brady's done, where you look at like Trevor Lawrence and you're like, maybe just not going to get there. And maybe that's a product of being on the wrong franchise. But you just watch these teams off. I mean, I want your team, Eric, is a really good example. You watch that team and you're just like is Tennessee what is Tennessee? A team that's been like very good the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, again, they won 4 straight, but again, I mean, they got their teeth kicked in on Monday Night Football, and then they lost a close one to the Giants. Like, I don't think they're a good football team. I don't think they're bad. Like, I think they're easily the best team in that division, but there's nobody in that division. Like it's a JV division.
I think it's hilarious how we just started a conversation about how bad football is right now. And it just immediately became a breakdown of the AFC South and NFC East.
pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I mean, there's clearly three teams. It's the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Eagles, and then there's space, and then there's everyone else. That's just who it is. Like I was talking with someone this weekend, and we said basically a lot of the NFC, except for the Eagles, is just kind of fool's gold right now. Like the Vikings are 5-1, but like, are they okay? They're not a very good team. Like they're not like, oh, they're a 5-1 team. Watch out. Same thing with the Giants. Like there's very clearly three teams that are head and shoulders above everyone else, and then there is just a wide margin. So it's interesting because usually there's been a decent amount of parity, but I mean, like I said, like if I'm taking those three against the field, easy, I think, to win the Super Bowl.
It's an interesting dichotomy in the NFC now that I think about it, because you've got these teams that have raced out to a hot start. You got those three NFC East teams. I know we just talked about how that's a bad division, but Eagles, Cowboys, and the Giants have the start that they have. And then you've got Tampa and Green Bay who are just flailing. And you got to think one, if not both of those teams, is going to turn around and figure it out. But it's just going to be a chase between those two teams, and like to go chase down the other teams with the Vikings too out in front. So it's going to be really fascinating to see those teams play meaningful games in late December, early January, in games in which they're usually, sitting their starters and, seeing where things go.
Yeah.
And they're going to be a team that nobody wants to see wild card weekend either. So it's interesting.
Usually they're, like you said, they're focused on resting and looking forward to the playoffs. And now it's going to be like these guys are going to be in a win or go home game in week 17, most likely with, some kind of situation like that. So yeah, what did they say? I think they said Tom Brady hasn't lost 3 straight starts. Let me find this stat real quick. He looks awful. Like at least I think with the Packers and them, I think with them, it's like they're wide receivers. They're just not catching anything. Like if you watch that, here you go. Looking ahead, this is my buddy Joe Pa. Looking ahead to the Ravens-Bucs Thursday night game, Tom Brady's lost 3 straight starts as a starting quarterback just once in his career, 9/29/2002 to 10/27/2002, 20 years. So it's a long time to go in between losing 3 straight starts, but I guess we'll see in 3 days, 2 days, 3 days, whenever you listen to this.
Yeah, the Ravens get to play, and this could be Bucs on national TV. They're going to be normally where I think the Ravens in some of these national TV games, because of Lamar, become the dominant storyline. They are definitely playing second fiddle to what's going on with this Bucs team. That is going to be like a very quick turnaround for a hugely disappointing performance on Sunday against Carolina. And now they get this Thursday night spotlight against, a Ravens team that I think the majority of the country probably perceives as pretty good, not locking into how they've lost some of these games because they're in every game and they've beaten some good teams and whatever. And played well against, played well, quote unquote, against teams that have winning records. Will Lamar Jackson go to Florida and just put Tom Brady in the ground? I mean, that's a distinct possibility this weekend. That's where we can sort of kick off the preview. Does he go down to, his home state, feel like a little bit of that, like dual, old school versus new school. Like here's where he plays pretty well in primetime games. Short week for the Bucs to have to deal with preparing for Lamar. This could be a huge statement game for the Ravens if they can figure out a way to get it together for 4 quarters.
This is definitely like a get it back on track, or at least restore the confidence in the fan base type of win. Cause I really don't think that did that yesterday. Will he put Tom Brady in the ground? Like right now, it's really hard to say that there's a lot of confidence that he will. He's really struggled the last 3-4 weeks. There was just no offense to be found through the air on Sunday. And I think, they got to be going to the drawing board here and trying to figure out, how can we get this guy more time and more space because when he got overwhelmed there in that first half yesterday, he just didn't really seem to have any answers. He refused to check the ball down, which has been somewhat of a calling card for him. He's always trying to hit the home run, and he's got to be more content taking singles. And I'm hoping that like the tape and the performance was bad enough, and and this week is so short that the lesson is just like right there in front of him, where it's like, okay, we gotta take what's there for us. We gotta get the ball out quick. And the Ravens have been, in order to kind of had his protection and all that, had been keeping 6 or even 7 guys in protection and only sending 3 guys out against like 7-man coverages, which is just not a productive way to pass the football. Like over time, it's just not going to get it done, especially if you're looking to throw deep against that. You're just not going to do it. So you have to take the checkdowns, and hopefully offensively we can find some new ways to, get more people out there to look for passes and protect better with just 5 guys. It's yet to be seen. And this Tampa defense is, they've played pretty decent all year, but we know that they can be a top tier defense, and it's going to be an interesting test for sure.
That's what I was going to talk about. It's a defense. I mean, this has to be the best defense that the Ravens have played this year. Probably one of the better defenses that they've played going back to, last year's Rams defense. Maybe Packers were good last year, but again, the Ravens
Bears too,
yeah, the Ravens weren't at their strength, with health wise. But again, you read down the list of these names: Levante David, tackling machine; Devin White, tackling machine. I think Antoine Winfield Jr. is out with that concussion, so that's, he's arguably their best defender. Some would say. He's really, really good. So that's big, but they still got guys. Carlton Davis is good. Shaquille Barrett, Vita Vea. Guys like that. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough sledding for the Ravens, I think, again, especially a short week. I don't know. I feel like the defense kind of has a leg up in the advantage. But I think if you're the Ravens, I think you kind of got to stick with your game plan. And I think you got to do what's been working for you all year. And that's like a healthy dose of Mark Andrews. Obviously, people made the big deal. Like this is the first game since I think the 2018 Chiefs game where he didn't have a catch his rookie year. I think it's simple. I think if you get him the ball and he's up around that 80, 90, 100 yard mark, I think you got a decent chance to win. So that's what my guess is. You'll see a decent amount of that, probably a lot of Gus. And again, I'm looking forward to watching the offense versus defense.
Yeah, it's sort of comparable. I think this Bucs team's more talented, but the Ravens went to Florida to play a reeling Dolphins team last year and got dominated defense to offense.
Beginning of the end.
Yeah. With the pressure that they put on. And see, Todd Bowles is is now the head coach in Tampa, is a super respected defensive mind. And maybe that will end up being their calling card is their defense. Because clearly the offense is not firing all cylinders in Tampa at the current moment. You talk about the Gus bus, this could be a big game for the Bus. Can the Ravens continue to establish the run? And maybe that if Lamar Jackson get a little bit more calm and confident in the passing game, that the Ravens can do a little bit more. They've really run the ball pretty well the last 2 weeks. Kenyon Drake popped off for a nice game against the Giants. And I thought, me and Banks were sitting there and Banks was essentially yelling anytime Kenyon Drake was on the field because the Gus bus had been pretty effective. And he was just doing Gus bus things. He was, getting the 4-yard gains that end up being 7 yards because he kind of keeps the legs moving and falls forward. He was very good in the red zone. He brought the dimension that he brings, and it stinks that J.K. Dobbins got hurt because we were going to have the ability to kind of see that combination back together that I think has the ability to be very effective as, two guys that are a change of pace in the running game and kind of start to put this Ravens offense with all the pieces together. Excited to watch the Bus, and I gotta be honest, I didn't think he would look that good. I thought we were going to get maybe 6-7 carries, maybe not even that many. And Drake was going to kind of carry the load, but clearly maybe he's been ready for a couple weeks because he looked good. Like he looked ready to go. Even I remember I think the first like 3 or 4 carries, I was like, this guy doesn't look very different. And he looks huge, just absolutely huge.
He's shredded. Like he looks like a created running back in Madden, like just ripped. And I think I read that he had 16 carries. I think it was something around
16
there
for like 91, I think.
They said J.K. Dobbins has never had 16 carries in a Ravens uniform, which again, it's not, they're completely different backs, but you would think that, at some point that, that Dobbins would get that. But someone was saying how, like, it's kind of surprising, which again, like this guy is he hasn't played it's been 18 months, 19 months or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he was drafted in 20. He was third on the depth chart behind Ingram and Gus for most of that year. He came on closer, late strong, and then he never played in 21. So,
yeah. And it's and again, they were like, it was very different with how it seemed like they handled Dobbins and Edwards. Like Edwards, again, like I have him in fantasy, and I needed a running back this week, and I was like, I'm not going to start him. He may get 5-6 carries, maybe, and then right away it's like, well, fuck that one up. But yeah, I mean, he looked awesome. He looked shot out of a cannon, ready to go. And someone was just being like, I wonder what the hell the difference was between him and Dobbins. Like, because again, it's like they handled Dobbins with kid gloves ever since they brought him back. And with Gus, it was like, nah, man, you're good. Like, just go.
It was the opposite as they were rehabbing. It's like, JK's going to be back soon. We're going to wean him back in. Gus, he's not ready. We're just going to hope that he comes back later this season. And then they just throw him out there. He ran for more carries and he ran more effectively than I think anybody could have imagined.
Yeah. And you're right. Cause they kept saying the word like, later this season. And when I hear that, I'm like, okay, week 9, 10, 11, like right when the weather starts to get cold, end of November, which again is like, that's the prime, that's Gus Bus, that's Tractor Cito. That's the time when you need those big running backs to bowl guys over. And then, right away, it's like, nope, here he is. He's healthy. He's playing. Oh, by the way, he's going to get a brunt of the carries and he's going to, look awesome. So.
Yeah.
Great sign to see.
It's awesome. I think it's a huge development. It's an absolutely huge development. It's a huge development. Now we'll see.
I don't know how much they're
obviously what they want. Go ahead.
I don't know how much their hand was forced just by JK going down, where they were just like, let it rip. But then again, in the fourth quarter, they kind of pulled the strings back a little bit. I understand once you get to the 16 carries, it's like, we don't really had no plans to get him close to 20, and he's approaching that. I understand they want to kind of reel off of that, but god damn, did we need that game so bad? I know.
He didn't look like a guy that needed to be on a pitch count. When Dobbins debuted this year, he looked like a guy that needed to be on a pitch count. Like at times, I didn't necessarily see the explosiveness. The Gus Bus looked the same in the fourth quarter when he got carries at the beginning as he did in the first quarter. So that was the most encouraging sign to me. He didn't seem like he wore down throughout the game. It's almost like Dobbins has gotten this work at the beginning, and maybe they're seeing him wear down throughout the game. By the way, I think this is not some fire take. His durability is officially a gigantic concern. At this point, I mean, this guy is pretty injury prone. So that's sad to see because he is just not staying on the field right now. And obviously one was a hugely devastating injury, but good to have the Gus Bus back. Hopefully he and Kenyon Drake can continue to make some magic. Mike Davis, absolute milk carton. Guy doesn't really play at this point. And Justice Hill, until the fumble, brought some nice things to the table. He continues to show some burst, and you just got to hold on to the football in that spot.
I remember thinking because he cut outside and then he planted, and he had a run like this earlier and he cut it back. But I remember thinking right before he fumbled, like, that's a great run. Like, again, he was going one way, planted his foot, completely reverse field and cut it up. And it's like, that's a hell of a run. And then he just got it punched out. So again, I mean, I thought he was going to be a milk carton guy, Justice Hill. Cause again, it's like the only thing that he really contributed was special teams, but he's besides for the fumble, I thought he's looked good this year too, but the durability with JK, it's got to be a talking point. And was he a vegan? Is that a thing? Can't trust a guy who just doesn't have, meat, protein in his diet. I think that was a thing.
I don't know.
I think Marlon was always spouting off in the locker room on Instagram about him. I don't
think it lasted very long, which is how it always goes when those guys do it.
True. True. Real quick too, by the way, you know who, and we talked about it after we recorded on Sunday a little bit. I didn't realize one of the guys who conveniently couldn't come to the 10-year celebration.
Oh yeah, we know. It's Bernard Pollard.
Yeah.
I showed that to Dylan at some point. He's like, yeah, I mean, of course he's at home.
Of course, yeah, he's gonna keep ducking Lamar. Like, of course he is.
Yeah.
I thought that was
lost
funny
in the
though.
mail.
Yeah, like yeah. If there's one invite that didn't get sent out, I think Harbaugh.
So
may have
what?
been
Besides
all
the
right with
guys that weren't, besides the guys that were playing, it was what? Pollard. There was a list somewhere. Somebody had it.
it's like Kerry Williams
like
there.
I think Osemele wasn't there for the pregame and made it by half, or Jimmy Smith wasn't there for the pregame and made it by halftime. And maybe Osemele wasn't there. And I think he said on Twitter that he couldn't make it or something.
He had just had another workout, I think, with the Raiders, right?
Yeah, he's kind of in the
he-
mix on getting back out there. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jimmy Smith, the pregame, Jimmy Smith, which is weird. He maybe got stuck in traffic. Jimmy Smith, Bernard Pollard, Kelechi Osemele, Michael Orr. Michael Orr trying to still play, or did he announce his retirement?
I think he's been done for a
I
while.
think he's been long retired.
Like, yeah,
36, yeah, you would think. Yeah, he's been out for 6 years. That's weird. He could have been a guy that I would have thought was just hanging on to the backup of a team, and you just didn't know what team he was on. That would not, if he was still in the NFL, it would not have shocked me, to be honest.
I think it would have shocked me. I think we don't see eye to eye on that.
Yeah. After we all saw him play for our teams, and
I forgot. That's right. He played for the Titans right
Yeah.
after us, and I think he got flushed out pretty quick there.
yeah, he was like a big he was good for one drive killing holding penalty, like a half. It's like
That's his MO.
yeah, there we go.
Finished it by failing a physical in 2017. That's how you should go out.
Who did he play for after the
Big
Titans?
Mike.
Panthers.
I want to
Yeah.
say Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah, with Torrey, I think the same time.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, Michael Orr. Any other thoughts on this game Thursday?
I was just thinking, usually, a Lamar, and you said it earlier, like a Lamar Brady matchup, primetime matchup would have juice, and there is just nothing.
Have you guys seen the spread on this game?
I have not.
No.
Taylor, what do you think it is?
Ravens by 3.
Kirk?
Bucs minus 2.5.
That's a wide range. And
Well,
I think
I just think them being on the road, Ravens.
close to the middle, yeah. Ravens minus 1.5.
Yeah.
Where we're at here.
I think Vegas
it's a
loves
real
the
interesting one.
Ravens.
I think Vegas loves the Ravens too. And I think they see value in the fact, okay, they're 4-3, but they could be 6-1. Besides Sunday, they've tend to outgain. Their yards per play is far better than what they're giving up defensively. There's a lot of deep statistics that are kind of telling as to, who has future success. And if you look at the futures, the Ravens are tied with the 49ers for 4th shortest Super Bowl odds. They're still right up there. And that's for a team that's in the tougher conference. They're going to have a tougher road to get to the Super Bowl and win it than some of the other teams on the other side. So Vegas is still high in the Ravens. And if Vegas is high in the Ravens, maybe we shouldn't be all up in arms the way that we are.
It's always worth trusting Vegas.
Vegas. You ever been to Vegas?
I've been to Vegas.
Same.
Been to Vegas?
Vegas.
It's an inside joke. That's such an inside joke right there. You been to Vegas already, too?
I have not.
Sheesh.
I have not.
Total shame.
One of these
Predictions for
days,
this one.
we'll pull up a stool and we'll talk about Vegas.
Yeah.
Another quick just talking point is
Oh, sure, go ahead.
we've got it's another good a wide receiver secondary matchup. Godwin and Evans versus Peters.
We got to talk about the Mike Evans drop on Sunday. Do they
awful.
win the game if he catches that?
Probably.
Because
was
the
awful.
Panthers at that point, and that was early in the game.
There was 13 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, if they just go up 7-0 on a deep pass, that game maybe goes very, very differently.
Yeah, you're going all right, here we go again. I
Did
think
you
I
see
read
the
today.
Zay Jones Hail Mary?
Who is it?
At the end of the first half, the Zay Jones Hail
Oh
Mary that just
yeah,
went right through his
I
hands.
thought I was watching it. I thought he was out of bounds. I thought that's why he was
He
kind of
might have
like,
been. I don't know.
that's what I assumed because I was just like, oh, he's kind of, whatever. Like he played it very like, oh, I dropped it. It went through my hands, whatever. But I think I read that the Mike Evans drop, he had like 10.5 yards of separation. It's like, that's insane. He had 30 feet on the cornerback and he just
Very good
dropped
ball.
it. Just dropped it. I mean, that's tough. But yeah, I mean, Godwin, I think my guess is it'll be what? Godwin and Peters probably if they're playing man, and Marlon and Mike.
I feel like they might put Hamilton a
Or
little bit over top with him,
yeah,
just somebody a little more
and
sizable to kind of
big
hang out in Mike Evans' space.
physical guy to
I
move
don't
him.
know.
Yeah. I'm excited though. I think that's a good it's a good matchup, and it's a big matchup for I guess who's going to be Queen watching Fournette out of the backfield because I mean they like to throw to Fournette a lot, so it's you're going to get a lot of the linebacker matched up versus a running back, and Fournette's, I mean, he's a big dude, our coworker. He's not an easy guy to take down. So I don't know. Those are my kind of like, I'm interested to see how that works. So
Yeah, the Ravens defense, I thought really came alive after the first, when Cleveland kind of just takes it down and scores. I thought after that the Ravens defense had a really solid day. Other than I thought they could have put the game away late in a little bit of, I mean, obviously the final drive they did. I thought they let the Browns do some things before putting it away, but that's super nitpicky and harsh. But I think there's something started. I think they're starting to find it a little bit defensively. Like even against the Giants, yes, they probably could have done a better job in some places in that game. But I think maybe that ends up being the Ravens' call. Maybe it just ends up being what everyone in Baltimore wants to be anyway: defense and run the ball 47 times. So maybe that's what they'll end up just having to do, and everyone will be thrilled. All the pound the rock people are going to be absolutely dying in the tailgates. They're going to be so excited, waiting to watch the Ravens run it 65 times and play like a Raven defense.
Total yards allowed the last 4 weeks: 326, 291, 238, 336. I mean, there's some good numbers in there defensively.
In today's NFL, that's a pretty good job.
And they force a takeaway in every game too. I don't.
We did not. I don't remember if we talked about it in the incident analysis or gave it the credit it was due. The Calais Campbell strip was sensational for a guy that big and that old. What a play. I mean, just ridiculous. Just flew through the air to make the strip.
TV angle. So I embedded that play in my blog and it just like didn't pop on the TV replay, but the stadium replays from the end zone view and from the sky cam view and all that stuff, like, man, that 6'8", 36-year-old guy just flying through and whacking a ball out of quarterback's hands. What a guy. And I automatically assumed that he was the one who blocked that kick, by the way.
I mean, it's a good assumption to make.
It's either him or Brent Urban, and it's like, oh, one of those two, I'm blocked it, I'm sure, and it was wrong. You got to think of like kickers are starting to like think about that when those guys are there. I mean, I know you can't, but like in the back of your mind, like subconsciously, it's like you got a couple 6'9" guys who just jump up and swat shit.
And I was thinking too, like with their wingspan, I mean, if Calais has his hands up and he's jumping, is he touching 10 and a half, 11 feet? No, not 11. He's not that. He's not like he's got to be up around 10, maybe.
Are you asking if Calais Campbell can dunk?
Well, like if he has his hands up and is blocking a field goal, how high are his hands getting?
Oh, are you talking about like standing back at the uprights and trying to swat it?
No. Like on the line, blocking, like engaged, and then at the kick is leaping up and putting his hands up.
Yeah, he's probably getting somewhere up in that range.
Like 10. Yeah, like he's not tomahawking it. Yeah, he's not tomahawking it like behind the head mailman dunk or anything, but
yeah,
like,
I mean, if
has to be
him and Urban can time the jump well and even like try to, you can kind of get a little leverage off a blocker if he
Mhm.
pushes you in the right spot, you time it well. Like,
Isn't that
yeah,
the
he could be
leap?
way up there.
Isn't that the rule? The leverage, the leaping. What is it
You
called?
can't, leverage yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're up in the air and they block you, like, I don't know.
Hmm.
We're kind of in the weeds on this one here.
Yeah, it's another, it's a logistical thing. Yeah.
To talk about to put some of the offensive numbers into context, like you did with the defense, as I, have my articles open that I do before. This is from Mr. Zaribek, who obviously does good work for the Athletic. The Ravens are averaging just 20.5 points and 320 yards over their past 4 games after averaging 33 and 380 their first 3. It's not a good trend. It's not a good trend. So we'll see if they can rebound. As you said, already, it's a good defense. So we'll be interesting to see. It's not as if the Browns have, played outstanding defense. Bailey Zappi destroyed them. So, it's not like they were some lockdown. I know they have some talent there, but
is Clowney on the Browns? Is he 90 on the Browns?
He is on the Browns.
Okay, I thought so. I couldn't remember, and I know I think
I don't really yeah, I don't for some reason don't remember him playing in the game, but it's so weird when it's the only thing that's different about what I don't go to a ton of games. I've now gone to 2 games this year. First of all, 2 things. As Banks said, the Ravens have an incredible amount of angles in the in-stadium production. I mean, it's just so good. Like, it's just so good. The screens are obviously tremendous, but the amount of angles they have and the way they do a very good job. The second is like, when you don't see them like feature players or go ISO on players like on TV, you kind of like forget guys are in the game sometimes. Like, I know you're like hearing PA and you're watching yourself, but like when you're up, Banks' seats are up there in the upper deck. Like, I'm just like not used to perceiving the game from that place. Just like I noticed things that I normally didn't notice, and I went the other way where things that I'm like more in tune to. It's just a different perspective than watching a game. I thought it was kind of interesting, as I watch on TV most of the time. Like, you see, it's like watching all 22 during the game. So you have such a better idea of how plays are developing when you're up there, which is awesome. Like, you don't get that on TV. Like, watching, and this is such an obvious, but it was just a different look for me. Like, watching from up there and watching like the route trees sort of develop is just different than when you're watching on TV. You can't see it. It's the same when I watch Maryland in the press
the
box.
ball down the sideline to Duvernay, like Lamar lets go of it, and I'm like, ooh, the coverage is kind of decent there, but the ball is just so good, and you can just kind of see the dots connect there.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
whereas
those
on
seats
TV,
up there,
you're just surprised where that's going.
Yeah, that's a terrible vantage point to watch Tua Tagovailoa light you up in the fourth quarter, though. When you just see the guys wide open downfield before even the people at home can, it's pretty devastating.
Yeah, that's not fun.
It was a bad view for the Nick Chubb run like 3-4 years ago that I always talk about, with the Earl Thomas just coming straight to the sideline and giving up on the play, like just brutal. You see all that unfold. It's tough.
Ravens need some safety depth. You think they maybe go after Earl?
You get the characters up there up top too.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Real fan Dan leaving early.
Real fan Dan popped the top like 16 times.
He popped the top before kick.
He's losing it.
They inducted him into like I don't know what it was, the Ravens.
It was like, well, that was like we chant the name of the team Hall of Fame. Like, Wild Bill Hagee got put on the board. Also, they did that during the opening kickoff. The opening kickoff just happens as real fan.
It was while he's still going. And the ball's in the air.
I turned and they started doing the boom, boom to elicit the defense chant. And I'm like, have we kicked the ball off? It's because I'm staring at the Jumbotron watching Real Fan Dan twirl his shirt around. I'm like, that's not a great. That was the worst thing they did the whole game. Real Fan Dan's got to be done. Let us watch the football game for the kickoff.
Is he like Fireman Ed?
Get him off the board.
You got to get him out of there soon.
Oh no.
I can't have much of a Real Fan Dan take. I don't go to enough games. So I can't.
Well, you don't go to enough games with the regulars, the common folk.
That's true. I did tell Banks that I will be migrating back towards the suite for my next experience. And I had enough time up in the nosebleeds. That's just, I have a reputation to uphold.
Not blue collar enough.
I'm assuming I was up with all your Dundalk people.
I was gonna say, who's up there in the 500s. Good old Donnie. Donnie from Dundalk.
And I've sat up there. I've sat for games. That's obviously a joking take, but we're up there for 10 minutes, me and Banks, and some guy almost just stumbles down and like takes out three people in the rows below him. That was like that was 5 minutes into the game.
It was so early.
Here? Yeah, it was so early.
He almost took a serious spill.
He's
not a small guy either. Like it would have
had a great dude to our left though, just yelling, "You gotta block somebody, O-line! You gotta block somebody!"
He was cheering for position groups. Awesome. It was awesome.
Position groups. Hat on it. Hat on a hat.
He was a big
O-line.
Be there, linebacker. Be there.
Be there. He did one like on the first Browns rushing touchdown. He did the like, "Oh, we're there. Oh."
That was also like one of the like. Nick Chubb walked in,
walked. He was like, "We got that covered."
Could not have been easier.
There,
just strolls into the end zone. It was so funny, so funny. We also had some clowns around us too. That whoever was behind us was just that guy.
He's
was horrible.
The worst. It was the first game I've had him there at the same time I was there, and he's just awful.
There's nothing worse than sitting in front of. I sat at an Orioles game in front of some he had to be 17-year-old high school kid. Being like, I could hit this. He was with his parents, and he's like, his release points all off. I could hit this guy. I could smoke this kid. And I turned around. He was wearing like a Spalding JV baseball shirt. And I was like, what are you talking about? Get the hell out of here. There's nothing worse than sitting next to someone like that, in front of, behind, whatever. It's awful.
That was bad.
We don't have announcers yet, right? Oh, I guess we do. Never mind.
We do. We have
Thursday.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely have announcers. We absolutely have announcers. But yeah, it was a different experience watching. I hadn't watched a game. I hadn't watched a game in the upper deck since the Titans playoff game, which was a different experience than.
Credit to me for not asking about some of the plays you were talking about from up in that angle.
Yeah. Whatever.
Orioles, they are bringing back the whole coaching staff in 2023. Thoughts?
We're getting the confirming rocks confirming of the. That's my favorite. Is like I've also worked to confirm this. All the beat reporters.
Yeah, especially the guy who works for the company that works for the Orioles.
Which
hard-hitting reporting.
Yeah, much love the Rock.
Bring him back. I do like Rock. I had some good conversations with Rock at the Yard this year.
We should have him on. I think he would be fun to have on. His position is very interesting to me. Covering the team for the team-owned broadcaster is an interesting spot.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that. I would love to know like what the directive is there. I've always wondered that.
You have to talk to him about his. Go on.
No, I was gonna say, does he get carte blanche to say what he wants, or does he feel? I guess maybe he wouldn't say that. I have no idea. That would be interesting. See, that's why I want him on.
I would guess not, but we have to.
By the way,
him about his.
We haven't talked about Masson on the show in a long time, so good for Masson. That we at one point were on a streak where we talked about Masson like 12 straight shows, and we were just taking him to the cleaners.
Well, that's when there was no Orioles stuff to talk about. It was like
Masson is Mike Trout's biggest fan.
He really are. Those are neck and neck. They really did do some things right, though. I thought that they got the broadcast team pretty right this year, and I thought that the streaming thing continues to be horrible. But like, what else is there to say about that? They need to travel. They traveled, so they got that back together. I think Kevin Brown's great, so they have that going for them. They have like a play-by-play guy that I hope is around for a while, which is good, and seems to really love it. And that's the other thing. He doesn't seem transactional in the role. And I think Ben McDonald has grown into a guy that is fun to listen to night to night. Yeah,
I'm really high on him. I've talked to him about coming on, so I'm working on that. I've already put some.
I would love that.
I've already put some plans in place to shot out some DMs and tried to get some stuff laid out.
I would love to talk some college baseball with him too. That'd be awesome. He's so good on college baseball.
I feel like though that would be one that we would have to do in person. That would be an awesome. Well, we're not going down to
so good. He's probably got. He just seems like such a good storyteller.
Yeah. I'd like to. I'd like to run into him.
I think that's the thing. There was just less to complain about against Masson. I think that the pre and post just doesn't have a lot of investment put into it. But I don't think the people doing it are bad. I think they do a nice job. They just they've kind of have cut the knees out a little bit on the shoulder programming, but I hope they reinvest in that if the team is good. Like, I hope Masson, if the team gets good, throws a little bit more into that. Like,
I've heard they are. I've heard they're kind of I told you guys, I think like just redoing a lot of their stuff. They're gonna have more original programming and stuff like that. So
yeah, they got it. Yeah, little more pregame would be nice as well. Like, just give me something to turn on. It like, I don't even know what they
6:15.
did this year. Yeah,
they did like a little show, but it was
like,
a lot of it was like, we're gonna cut to this guy in the DraftKings, studio, and
yeah, like they're doing stuff they don't have to pay for, but like, give me something at 6:00 that I can kind of sink my teeth into, like when I'm sitting eating dinner, and that gets me to watch the game as opposed to like waiting. Yeah, we'll have a Masson when Masson announces all their plans in like January or December. We'll do a full Masson breakdown. Not much other Orioles to talk about. Cedric Mullins and Ramon Urias nominated for Gold Gloves. Finalists for Gold Gloves, which is nice to see.
That was the big one, and it's like, I could get why people don't get upset about Gold Gloves, and I tried not to, but like Mateo not getting named a finalist is pretty insane. Like, he was arguably the best defender and at shortstop in the league. Adley probably should have been, but I mean, there were miscues all over. Like, Rawlings, MLB, the managers, whoever does it, I think did an awful job. But again, it's whatever. Like, if Ramon wins one, that would be great. If Cedric wins it, it'll be cool. But like, Mateo definitely should have been there. Manny not being named a finalist is kind of weird. Juan Soto is awful, and he got named a finalist. So there was a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. And now we
can I ask a potentially stupid question?
The World Series.
Who determines the finalists for the Gold Glove? Is that a coaches voted award?
I think I read that the coaches have input on it.
I that's got to be an interesting award to get nominees for, because like you said, Manny Machado by talent is got to be one of the best third basemen in the game every single year. But is there like a
stat that holds him out or whatever, like his
or
defensive
people
run
don't like,
saved,
or do people don't like him or something? Whatever. I don't know what it is.
I don't know, because I mean, it always, like, I tweet because I was tweeting about it, and I mean, there's a couple famous cases. Obviously, Jeter won a handful of them, and he's well known as a bad defender. There was a year Cal Ripken, I think, set the record for most. He had 3 errors in a season, and it was something else where he like went like 145 straight games without an error, and he didn't win a Gold Glove. And then you have Rafi Palmeiro, who played 28 games at first base and won a Gold Glove. Like, I don't know what goes into it, how it's changed from then, but yeah, I don't know. I floated out the theory that maybe Boris, because Carlos Correa got named a finalist. He should not have been named a finalist. And I was like, oh, well, it's because Scott Boras is his agent. He's going to be a free agent this year. So now he can add Gold Glove finalists to his resume and, pump in, get a couple more extra bucks added to his contract.
You think Elias and Boris are already talking?
For Correa?
I mean, yeah.
If Correa wants to play like second or something like that, well,
I mean,
he can be a utility infielder if he wants. Judge will be 4th outfielder.
Could he DH?
Yeah, sure, if he wants to.
Yeah,
could do that. I don't know. If he wants to
Who do you want?
I want Carlos Rodon.
We'll have a preliminary discussion.
Okay. I want Carlos Rodon. I think he would be a perfect guy for the rotation. He's going to cost a lot of money, and I don't think the Orioles are going to pay that this year. But I don't know. Banks, who's one guy that you looked into? And I'm not saying like Judge or DeGrom or anyone like that, but is there someone that you're looking
I
for?
haven't really surveyed who's out there, to be honest.
Correa, Bogarts, Trey Turner is another guy that a lot, but again, I don't think the Orioles are going to go in that direction, like Trey Turner. I would love it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Me too.
I don't know. Rodon is the guy that, for me, that I'm like,
Trey Turner would be fun.
Trey Turner would be fun. A middle infield of like Trey Turner at short and Mateo at second. That's sexual, or other way around.
Gunner at third.
Daddy like, yeah. Daddy like.
I think starting pitching is kind of where I'm looking at. Just one good, dependable inning eating, maybe high 3s ERA type of guy. just somebody to kind of like a veteran presence.
Yeah.
I don't know who that person is.
Verlander is going to probably cost 20-25 million. As long as he keeps his
here's some guys.
brother away.
I'm going to throw some names out to you guys, and then we'll move to the starting 5 draft. Nathan Eovaldi.
I think I saw that he would.
Eovaldi. I always say that name wrong, but
20 million. I don't know if I want to spend 20 million on Eovaldi.
Jameson Taillon.
Nah. He doesn't do it for me.
Noah Syndergaard.
I would take Noah. I think I would be okay with Noah.
We assume they'll pick up the option for Lyles.
I really hope so, because I think I hope that, because it's only $11 million.
Dylan Bundy.
Nah. But with
bring him back
with Lyles, it's like I think you pick him up. I think you pick him up regardless. And again, you have him. And again, the idea is you pick up at other guys, 2 or 3 other guys. And if you need to trade him in the middle of the year, you can trade him. Again, $11 million. No one's going to scoff at that contract. I think you do it in a heartbeat. I think he was awesome this year. I think he really brought a lot in the pitching staff. The guys liked him, and he helped them a lot. I think he was exactly what they needed. But again, he can't be your only addition to the rotation from. What
about Corey Kluber?
I would take Corey Kluber. I wouldn't hate
see
that.
What the money's going to be on that one.
Yeah, I mean, if he, it's obviously not going to be a big money deal, but I would take that.
God, is this a shit pumping at Gillette?
One more Bears touchdown, and I think we're well on our way.
Adam Wainwright kind of had a good year. That's amazing.
Yeah, but he's not a guy who's.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, I was just going. So the list I have has them ordered by WAR.
Oh, yeah.
Of guys that could potentially be free agents. So like Carlos Rodon has to opt out. Aaron Nola is a club option, whatever. And it's Rodon, Aaron Nola, Kershaw, DeGrom, Eovaldi, Adam Wainwright, Chris Bassett, Tyler Anderson, Verlander, Sonny Gray, Kyle Gibson, Corey Kluber, and the list goes on and on.
Bassett's another guy that I would like the Orioles to look into.
Just go get DeGrom.
Do it. Put your balls on the table.
Just put your balls on the table. Just go do it. I'm starting that narrative. All right, let's get to the starting 5 draft.
DeGrom more. Trying to come up with something.
Nope. No.
All right. Well,
and I'm the guy I'm the guy that typed Fiend Sticks Arizona into a tweet. So I know bad city editions. Starting 5 draft presented by FedThrill. FedThrill sunglasses. Buy them. 20% off with the promo code EXIT52. By the way, do not like the cold. It has been nicely warm the last few days.
65 tomorrow.
We're hanging on by thread here. We got daylight savings coming in like 10 days.
Yeah. I like how the FedThrill ad read always just makes me start talking about the weather. Every single week I start talking about the weather.
Yep.
It's like I'm making small talk with two people I talk to for 2 hours every week in person, and then on text every day. Hey guys, what'd you think about the weather the last week? Sick. All right, it's spooky season. Spooky season. So we're doing worst Halloween candies. Apparently, because America's falling apart at the seams, your daughter's already done some trick-or-treating, even though Halloween isn't for like 17 days. So that's good to hear.
No. It was a spooky walk, which I think they wanted to get out of the way. This last weekend was like a big weekend for like Halloween festivals and stuff like that, because I think there are people who are going to be trick-or-treating, which is crazy, this weekend when it's not even Halloween. Because it's on they're going to want to go Saturday or Sunday. It's their Saturday they want to go.
Yeah.
Our neighborhood's like, hell no, we're Monday. Like,
so you guys doing hand turkeys tomorrow and Valentine's Day cards on Wednesday?
No, what do you, it's, hey, if her daycare is like, here, we're going to do this after school, so then you guys can have the next 2 weekends free. Like, absolutely. The next weekend free.
Is the Easter egg hunt next Thursday?
Yes, that is. No, actually we're Greek Easter. So we're later than the normal Easter. So that's in
wow.
2 weeks.
So it'll be like November 2nd.
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah. Right around then.
Well, we're doing worst Halloween candies. We've done a candy draft in the past. We've not done worst Halloween candies. Last week was fun. We did the game show draft. And by the way, Banks, me and RDT were talking about before you jumped on that we're thinking about a guilty pleasure song draft for next week. Mostly guilty
I feel like
pleasure.
we talked about that somewhat a handful of times
guilty,
and just not
guilty pleasure, like teeny bopper songs, which we could maybe do 40 rounds.
I was gonna say we don't.
That's
we don't
all
even
I listen to. So
we don't have to record it. Like we can just. Dude, we could just go. Like we could just talk.
The amount of we could just do that. Yeah, we don't even do that on the podcast. We could just do that together. The amount of Demi Lovato songs that are going to be in play on that draft for me. I mean, it's the whole discography is really not the whole discography. Some are not. I mean, she just released like an emo rock album. None of those songs are going to be involved, but did you forget? All right. Banks, you have the first pick. RDT, you have the second pick, and I have the third pick. So Bonks started off.
Banana Laffy Taffy, worst pick.
I was waiting. I was waiting.
What else am I gonna take here? Yeah, I know
it's
predictable, but it's got to be taken first overall. Just a trash candy. I've got room in my heart for Laffy Taffy. Strawberry's a fire flavor. There's some other decent flavors in the mix there, but banana, come on, like we're gonna. In my head, this is an overrated candy draft, just its existence and the fact that people like it just needs to be called out. Just banana Laffy Taffy is just it's trash. It's trash. It's crumb bum candy.
It stinks. It's the worst pick in the history of the starting five draft.
No. I agree to disagree.
There's not much to be said. It's a great pick, Banks. It's what I would have taken.
Thank you.
RDT.
There's so many here. I'm just gonna take Mounds. I think Mounds are awful. I don't
stink.
I couldn't tell you the last time I had one. Coconut sucks. Like they were ones where like during Halloween, if I saw it in my bucket or pillowcase or whatever, I'd just like take it out and throw it in the people's yard. Like don't even want it.
Mounds are terrible.
Yeah, like
terrible.
Would be a real shame if your dog ate it in the morning, lady. Thanks for nothing.
Like let's be honest. And there's going to be a lot of picks on this draft. Sorry to cut you off. There's going to be a lot of picks on this draft that are like this. You're an asshole if you're giving out Mounds for Halloween.
Yes.
You're just a jerk. Like you're just a bad person to with in good faith hand a child Mounds to enjoy coconut on their Halloween. Yeah, like that's disgusting. Like if you want to like Mounds, if there are people out there that like Mounds, that's fine. I disagree with you, but that's fine. But if you're going to give that to young, impressionable children who just want to go out and have a good time and eat some candy after and look at their haul with their friends, as you know, we try to keep society together by a thread, you are just helping bring society down by sticking Mounds into their bag. Laffy Taffy, a little more acceptable just because in general, Laffy Taffy is not awful. But that specific brand of Laffy Taffy, sir, what if that gets mixed up in the mix of other Laffy Taffy? That's fine. But Mounds is just like you're just a bad person. That's just that it has to be said.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And in the same vein, my two picks, you're also a bad person if you give these out. And maybe you guys will disagree. I think these are two easy picks. Candy corn stinks. Horrible candy. Bad. Somebody I think might have had that as an honorable mention in the good candy draft, and I eviscerated it. That candy stinks. And then Tootsie Rolls, also terrible. Get those out of here.
I wanted Tootsie Rolls pretty bad.
I'm
with you hard on that.
I like Tootsie Rolls. I like them.
That's the least shocking thing I've heard today. You like Tootsie Rolls.
I am the candy corn defender. I don't love candy corn. There was a time in my life where I did enjoy it. I think it catches a little bit of a bad rap.
I think it's
it's there's a general feeling as you get older, like too much sugar. It's like I just can't do it. Nothing encapsulates that feeling of like that is just straight sugar and it just is too sweet and it's just too much. That's what candy corn is. It exists to drive that point home.
Yeah, both I just don't like. I think Tootsie Rolls are irredeemable. I don't know what's good about them.
I like the
agree.
flavored ones too. They have the vanilla ones and they have the like strawberry ones. Those are good. I like them. I am a candy corn again. I'm fine with that. Like if I'm at a party, if I'm at a Halloween party and there's a bowl sitting there, like I'll grab a handful, but like I'm not going out of my way to make sure I get candy corn if I'm, out somewhere or whatever. But I get it.
Yeah.
There's a stigma with it. I get it. I'm gonna follow.
I was thrilled to get both of those.
I'm gonna follow this one up. This is kind of this one goes like hand in hand with Mounds. It's Almond Joy. Get it out. Get it out of my face. Couldn't tell you the difference between them really. Same like packaging. They're literally just like brother and sister, I think, but they're just both awful candies. And Taylor, I mean, you could just repeat Banks when you're editing this, if you just want to copy and paste Taylor's monologue about Mounds into this part.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. And I had both of those very high on my board. Almond Joy, almond, Mound, coconut. Both trash ingredients in a candy that just shouldn't exist. And
yeah. I like other applications of almonds and coconuts, just horrible in both of these applications.
It's something
so
about the packaging.
Those two.
The packaging is awful. I think that's the biggest
ugly packaging. Both have ugly packaging. They look like, you look at those in the package before you even open them and you're like, these are bad. These have to be bad. There's no way that they're good.
That's
you look at
Dundalk candy
packaging and you're like, oh, geez. I mean, come on. You look at Reese's packaging, you're like, oh, yes.
Yeah, it's careful.
Yes,
my mom very much enjoys a Mounds bar. She would never give it to children though.
Okay.
I do. I think it's in an older person like candy. Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah. Like because they're stuck at the bottom of the bowl at the end of the night, and they're like, all right, now it's our turn to eat. The parents all
I'll throw them out. First of all, I'll never buy them. I would never buy a variety pack
that had them in there. Yeah.
I would never like stock them if I was a grocery store.
Never.
Get it, cut it off before it even gets out there.
We should bring someone, the head of the Mounds fan club on this podcast. I'd love to know the justification behind those.
I would like that too. But you know what? No, you know what I like doing is having those in there, like say they're in there. And like, if there's some dickhead kid who comes up, there you go, buddy. Enjoy. Like a kid who like butts others to get to the front of the line.
It's like a weapon.
Yeah. Like, okay, you want to do that? Or like, you're not going to say trick or treat, something like that. Like, all right, enjoy
there's
your
some dickhead
Mounds.
kids out there that deserve Mounds. Let's just be honest about that.
By the way,
you can't smack them around anymore. So you might.
Yeah, you can't use a wooden spoon. You can't use a belt anymore. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
Jesus.
By the way, if you're a trick or treat aged kid that listen to this show, and I'm assuming there's many, you have to make sure to say trick or treat before you get candy. That's just the etiquette.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be done in a civilized society. You say trick or treat. So to all of you out there, heed my message. Heed our wisdom as guys that trick or treated for a long time back in our day. And now
I've got two curb scenes in my head now to just where the cops are explaining to Larry, well, you offered trick or treat. Next time I suggest you just give them a treat. And then Larry with Almond Joy, he's just doing jury duty and he's explaining if a crime has ever happened to him. And he's like, my cousin once stole an Almond Joy from me.
Thanks, you too.
I'm going to go with Runts. Talk about a candy that I don't think you see in not very much in a Halloween type of setting, but this is a candy draft. Talk about candy that you just put your hand out and you insert a quarter and you turn a wheel and it shows up in your hand.
Yeah.
That is the hallmark of a trash candy.
That's it. They're the little fruits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're hard candy.
Brutal.
But yeah.
Yeah. Nobody wants anything to do with that. I don't even know how they package it. I think they would put them in little baggies.
Yeah, I think they are
in a Halloween setting.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal. And then I'm gonna take Now and Later. It's just a fraudulent, harder Starburst. Just a terrible candy. Just like You talk like kids go in there and they want to jump into their candy. They want to enjoy it and they want to down it and they want to move on to the next one. Now and later, nobody got time for that on Halloween night. Said smash up your molars doing that. It's a dentist disaster. You can't have it.
No, I think it's a dentist gold mine.
Well, that's also true. That's good.
I think you want kids eating now.
You
and
gotta
later
think
in
there.
candy
You
corn.
gotta think there's some conspiracy between between Big Candy and Big Dentist. That's got to be something.
Yeah.
We got to get what's her name? What's Marty's old friend? Holly. Bring her on to talk about the effects of candy on
That would be an electric show.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Holly, if you listen, drop us a line. We'll have you on the show. RDT.
Fireballs. Awful. Sucks.
Yep.
Get him out.
It's a bad shot too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had a rough run in with Fireball this summer.
This
I've
summer
had enough.
in 2022, year of our Lord.
You're taking fireball shots, RDT?
It was our fantasy draft, and where we do a flip cup game to determine the order. We do a shot every 3 rounds. We do a shot if someone repeats a pick. We also decided to do a shot if the Orioles hit a home run and they hit 4 home runs that night. So the beer, the high noon, and the Fireball did not go well. It was like the 6th round, and I was like, I gotta go outside and pull the trigger real quick. But Fireballs,
wow,
sucks. They're awful, and I like spicy stuff and like hot stuff, and these are just terrible. I hate them so much. They're never good, and you always get a ton of them too. I hate them. I like cinnamon too, but it's a bad flavor for a candy. It's an awful flavor for a candy.
That's a good pick. I am gonna take candy necklaces.
That was I had that.
Okay.
Candy necklaces are disgusting. In theory, it's not a horrible idea. You just have candy at your disposal around your wrist. But then the candy that you eat on those necklaces is consistently terrible. And then you're just wearing a wrist of
wet
spit.
rope around your neck.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Either around your neck or around your wrist. I mean, there's both sizes there, but it's disgusting. I mean, the whole thing, I guess when you're a kid, you just don't think about it.
No, because you put it all in your mouth and you just eat it all at one time and then you pull the string out.
And that candy stinks. That's another one that's keeping dentists in business. I'm going to take that first, and then I'm going to take Good and Plenty's. I just don't understand why that's candy.
Yep, I had it up there.
The box makes it look like you're buying like Benadryl, like 60 Benadryls.
It's the same packaging as Mounds and Almond Joy. It's awful packaging.
Yeah, it's so bad. And those are Good and Plenty's are terrible. And what a bad name for a candy. Also, I looked up the packaging. It just says to try to get people involved, a fat-free candy. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm looking for in my candy.
Yeah.
If I'm eating candy, I'm taking my medicine that it's not fat-free. The fat-free candy. Disgusting. Look, it looks like a pills, like you're getting pills.
Yeah, it really does.
If I want to pop pills like candy, I'll take the good stuff. Good.
You know where you can go to do that.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh my.
I gotta use up on it.
Oh my.
Jesus.
My turn.
All right, let's save him. Oh yeah, it is your turn. Yeah, keep going, I guess.
Necco wafers.
It's horrible.
What are they?
It's a good question.
Awful. No taste.
Has a Necco wafer though ever been in a this ends up just being a bad candy draft, but has I don't think I've ever got a Necco wafer.
I've definitely gotten some in like the little like wax packaging. Yeah.
Those people should be jailed for giving that to kids. That's so bad.
Yeah, they're just
this might be more about parents than kids this draft. I mean, if you're a person that gives out Necco wafers, you should be throwing the clink.
Yeah,
that is terrible.
Turn your lights off and don't even give anything out.
Maximum security. Yeah, go watch a bad movie on demand and just don't even come to the door.
Just pretend you're not home. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. They're just awful candy.
Go watch Law and Order SVU on USA and just stay away from the children of America. Thanks.
I think one of these has to be taken just to kind of throw one in the mix. I'm going to take Three Musketeers. I think in the realm of those just like candy bars that are the chocolate and you get the couple ingredients, whatever.
Oh,
It just brings nothing to the table. It's just airy and there's just nothing really in there that really gets you going here. As I see Zappy threw another pick, huh? Was it first pick or?
Oh, you were
Anyways.
that happened like 3 minutes ago.
I'm on Gamecast here. I don't
Yeah,
want
you
to
are.
put the actual game up because I don't want to screw up my internet. Three Musketeers. I think in the scheme of those types of candy bars, it's the one that there's one other one that I won't say that I think is in the actually, yeah, there's one other one that might be kind of neck and neck with it as just the worst of this kind of style. And I'm gonna go with Three Musketeers on that.
I like Three Musketeers. I literally just had
I'm
them.
not a big I think you put it perfectly. Of the ones that do what Three Musketeers is trying to do, it is clearly the worst, I think. Of like it's in the like Twix type of family, and like all of those other ones are just better than Three
And the
Musketeers.
Snickers
like,
and the yeah.
that pairs chocolate with things like Milky Ways. I like that pick. You have another one.
I do have another one. I'm kind of winging it here. What are some shitty candies? I'm gonna take Smarties. Smarties is trash. It's just straight trash. It's chalk. It's chalk.
Smarties stinks.
You guys
probably got a
always
launder draft.
You always have the kids at school who would like
Surprised it lasted this long.
smush them up and then like inhale them and blow it out like it's cigarette smoke.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Guess where those kids live? I'm gonna get shot.
Yeah, you really are. You really are. You're gonna get absolutely taken out.
Spot the lie.
You
That's
better
good.
wall it up over there in Glen Burnie. By the way, we're up on the 500 level, and the person doing throw for dough for Maryland Lotteries from Glen Burnie, and they're like, from Glen Burnie, Maryland, and someone behind, I don't know if you remember this bank, just goes, yeah, Glen Burnie.
Christ.
Oh, Ravens
missed
games. Yeah.
Good pick. Is it me? Me
Yeah.
now? Last one.
It is you. One more. Yes, sir.
I had Smarties on there. I'm taking candy buttons. Again,
Candy
awful,
buttons.
poor.
Oh, like on the little white sheet.
Yeah, they come on like the
Yeah.
paper. Like
Disgusting.
Yeah.
and
Disgusting.
like
yeah.
It's like you're getting things to like labels of paper.
yeah, like and like
I should be getting those at Office Depot.
you pick them off and there's always paper that comes with it. And again, it's
Disgusting.
just
A repugnant candy.
yeah, it's
Repugnant.
awful.
That's
Like
a good
there's
pick. That's
yeah.
a really good pick.
I don't even
Yeah.
remember if like each color had a different flavor. It was like red, blue, yellow. But again, you just end up eating so much paper and you're like, this is
Once again, jail
terrible.
for the people that put
Yes.
those out. If you're
Yes.
giving that to kids, you should be on Law and Order SVU. You
If
should
I-
just be.
if I'm a parent going through kids' candy, I'm throwing that out before they can eat. Like even I'm not subjecting my kids.
I'm looking at you. If I'm you, I'm looking at your daughter and I'm saying, where did you get this? And then I'm confronting the house.
Show me the house. Yes. Show me the
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Walk me back to who put you to put this in your bag.
Yeah, we're gonna
'Cause that's
find
just
out
a
whose
trick,
dad
and
is
that's not a
stronger.
trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And hopefully you're not in a certain area of Baltimore. You probably get taken out.
We would not trick or treat there.
No. No.
Yeah, candy buttons.
Presenting
We're good.
sponsor is in that area.
Well,
folks.
that's
Come
why
on.
I feel safe doing it. I feel okay doing it, you know.
Yeah. We approve of that presenting sponsor. It's also just I mean, this is just hopefully everyone knows it's not a shtick, but it's a shtick. All right, I have one more pick. I just hate these. I don't even know if this is something you really get. I'm taking hot tamales. I think they're disgusting.
Yeah, that was I kind of hand in hand
Yeah.
with the fireball,
Right.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
which is crazy
think-
because
yeah,
I love Mike and Ike's, but
I also love
I
Mike
also
and
like
Ike.
Mike and Ike's.
Mike and Ike's
are good.
catches a lot of
That's the thing.
strays, and I don't think it deserves it.
A lot of different candies are trying to do the exact same thing, and just some do them better than others. That's just like Three Musketeers is a great example. Like Three Musketeers is not horrible, but it's
There's
just
nothing
not
going on.
as
there.
good as doing of what the other things are trying to do.
Baby Ruth is the other one. in that
Baby Ruth
ballpark.
stink.
Yeah. Baby Ruth. They're not good. I forgot about. I hadn't thought about Baby Ruth in a long time.
Yeah.
All right. Banks takes Banana Laffy Taffy. Runts or runs? What are those called?
Runts.
Runts, right?
RUNCS or Z, maybe with a Z to be cool.
I can't remember how to spell it. Now and later,
think so.
Three Musketeers and Smarties. RDT takes Mounds, which is a great freaking pick. Almond Joy. Mounds are so bad. Almond Joy, Fireballs, Necco wafers, and candy buttons. And I took candy corn Tootsie Rolls, candy necklaces, good and plenty, and hot tamales. Any honorable mentions?
I was only left with black licorice and pixie sticks.
Pixie
Twizzlers are, are
Yeah,
kinda
Twizzlers.
meh.
I don't hate Twizzlers, but I don't
They
want
don't
them as
bother
Halloween
me
candy.
enough to
Mhm.
draft them, but they're objectively not good.
I eat a ton of them at the beach. We always bring like a gigantic
People
tub,
love
and I
to
just
do that for road trips in the beach. I feel
you
like
know what
people
you know
like
what Twizzlers are
for.
good for too is heartburn. That's helped me with heartburn a ton. Dead
Interesting.
serious. It helps with saliva and stuff like that, and like creating
Oh,
saliva.
I could see that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's like literally one night at the beach, I was like, I'm gonna die of a heart attack. I had the worst heartburn, and I just went downstairs and ate a ton of Twizzlers, and it was fun.
I got turned on to Tums Chewy Bites recently, and
Oh,
those things are delicious.
Those are dangerous.
I have been
had about-
eating those like candy.
I had about 5 before a wedding one time, and I was just like, oh, these are so fucking good. Yeah,
I bought
those are good.
I bought another thing of it, and I'm not even halfway through the one I got. I just know I need some on deck soon.
Yeah, they're good.
The only other one I had, which you look at the packaging and you think there's a potential they're good and they've never been good, are Whoppers.
Yes,
Disagree.
Yeah.
I like Whoppers.
Ooh, no.
Yeah,
not
I like
good.
Whoppers. What else did I have? I mean, Pixie Sticks was a good call, which they were
Yeah,
kind of sweet.
I
at
think
the time, but
Airheads are very overrated.
Oh, I love an Airhead.
I like Airheads. I like
could put some
Airheads.
down.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You do the little
might have-
you make the pillow out of it.
What do you guys think of
Yeah.
Raisinets?
No.
Not good.
And I like
No.
raisins. I love Raisin Bran.
Peanuts, just like those things,
Circus
candies that
peanuts?
count as candy. Yeah, circus
Yeah.
peanuts.
I wouldn't
Not
have called it a
good.
candy, but I guess they are.
Shock tarts are kind of like meh, but they're barely, they're better than Smarties. So
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about
I don't know.
Dum Dums?
I'm fine with it. They're lolly. Oh my god.
I'm okay.
Go to the
Yeah.
bank. You go to the bank with your parents when you're little and get
There's a
some.
time and place. There's a
kidding
time
me?
and place. Mixing a little dum dum.
Who doesn't like a
Candy, but I had not thought about candy buttons in a long time, and that's such a good pick.
They're bad.
That's
They're really
The
bad.
worst. The worst.
I should have
They're
gone
made
to
by the
like
company that makes Necco wafers. What is this company?
That seems about right.
the Amish market has a lot of candies that you go in there and I should have done that as scouting for this draft. Just see all the old style candies they got there, and it's just
Yeah.
like, that's trash. That's
Yeah.
trash. It's the reason they don't make that anymore.
Yeah, Amish people's candy selection sucks.
Oh no, they've got a lot of hits. They just have everything.
But when they're
at those things.
bad, they're bad.
They just make everything. That's all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's a solid draft, I think.
The
so.
Spangler Candy Company makes Dum Dums, Safety Pops, Whistle Pops, Spangler Candy Canes, Spangler Circus
Forgot about
Peanuts,
Whistle Pops.
and Necco wafers. They acquired the defunct Necco brand. Oh, what a shocker that company went out of business.
Yeah, real shame.
Wow.
Should get the ex-CEO on here and just fucking roast him.
Yeah, bring them on. I guess they made the Sweethearts Conversation Hearts for Valentine's Day, which are disgusting.
That's my number one. I love that candy.
The
Oh, yeah.
Sweethearts?
Yeah.
Oh, RDT.
Yeah.
Those are not good.
I've had to stop eating them because
Oh, you're
I was like, I'm just gonna rot
savage.
through because I could go through a bag. Like in middle school.
Even as a
so
kid,
bad.
those are rotting your teeth.
Oh man. No, in middle school, I
I
go
don't-
through a bag easy.
Do you remember the things that come in like the little cigarette carton looking?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Things.
that have
Those are
like I'll be your
terrible. Those are
Valentine on.
awful.
They're
Oh,
they're
terrible.
so good.
The only reason they're just a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
I know they're chalk. It's basically chalk.
That's embarrassing.
I've gone
That's
away
one
from
of your
them in
worst
my
takes ever.
older years, but
Good.
I used to be big on them.
You also already found your Valentines. You don't need them anymore to hit on girls.
Well, yeah, I buy a bag and I eat it myself.
But God, now your lovely daughter is gonna be, you're gonna just be feeding those to her. Oh,
No,
feel
I
bad
wouldn't give
for
those to
her.
her. I would not let her eat those.
Okay.
I would not.
Are they doing? She's not old enough where they're doing the whole Valentine's Day situation in school, right?
I don't think
They're
so.
not doing that. Talk about a waste of money. I mean, that is one of the great scams.
Buying every kid in your class a
Hallmark
Valentine.
coming out way ahead on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like buying this, like the Sports Illustrated
Yeah,
for
I
kids.
was. Yeah,
They had like the cutout. Yeah. Yeah.
you make my heart bounce with like a basketball on it.
Yeah. What
Like,
a
oh,
joke.
this sucks.
Yeah. And I'm not even anti Valentine's Day, but the kid, it just was, I was always like, as a kid, I was like, what are we doing? Like, what's really the point of this? It was fun because you just ate candy all day at school.
That was always a good time.
Good draft. We'll see you next week for Guilty Pleasure songs. Nick Hinder Medley, Maryland Person of the Week. RDT.
I think you have to go with Aaron Judge. Just a great season. It ended the exact way he wanted it to. Just played so well all year long, and I'm just really happy that the Yankees, were able to get it done, and he moved them on to the next round, and they're playing for a World Series. I had a Yankee fan tell me today. I tweeted obviously about how bad the Yankees, or like, oh, the Yankees suck, blah blah blah. But hey, don't worry, Aaron Judge hits the 7th most home runs all time, and the guy goes, yeah, but he's going to win an MVP, and he set the AL record. Not a bad year. And I was like, this is what Yankee fans are doing now. This is what you're doing. Okay.
Not a bad year.
Yeah. Again, I'm like, okay, you guys were on pace to win 120 games 6 months ago, and then you went under 500 your last 100 games. Like, sure. That's what Yankee fans are turning into. What a poor, pathetic group. Steinbrenner's rolling over in his grave. They've lost their fastball. And mostly because of that lame duck manager they have, but that's neither here nor there.
Look, Booney had to deal
Congrats,
with the
Aaron
hand he
Judge,
was
on a great
dealt.
year. Great year. Did everything he wanted to do.
Maybe if Cashman could bring in the right players, the guy could win. Booney could win some things.
Guy's got some fucking savages in the box, fucking close your roof, Houston. Left field wall is too far. The roof is open. If only the Yankees had to hit with that roof too.
I think he made some good points.
I've never seen a bigger group of crybabies than the Yankees this week. Severino talking about exit velocity and shit like that. Shut up. It's bums. All of them. So congrats.
Booney is coming back, by the way.
I hope he signs a lifetime contract.
I don't think they're firing him.
No, I don't think they are either.
I thought they were going to fire him, and then the fact that they haven't fired him yet is, when there's other teams looking at managers, so you're competing with teams right now, that's going to be an interesting situation.
Bring him back. 10 more years.
He's going to come. Unless the Orioles dynasty starts a year early, he's going to win the World Series next year. He's got the.
I've been teetering on the idea of a tweet like that the Orioles are going to win a World Series before the Yankees do. Teetering. Like typed it out a couple times and deleted it.
Shocked you haven't tweeted it.
I was very close. Very, very close.
If Nestor Cortez doesn't hurt his groin yesterday, I think they win 4 straight and go to the World Series.
Oh, that's the funny guy.
What's Booney supposed to do about that?
He throws all those weird angles and has the mustache.
Can I say this?
It's so quirky.
I know I have a little bit of a pinstripe Dan thing going on here with Aaron Boone. So if that's not apparent, I have a friend who is an enormous Yankee fan, and for the last few years, I have just been an unabashed supporter of Aaron Boone. I even went as far as to I have a Booney jersey that I was going to wear but it didn't come in time. So I need him to bring back so I can use this next year.
We'll be back.
Yeah. So I'm excited to use that. I thought your shot, and so this is I've turned into like a pseudo fan for this team that I've hated my entire life, and I still hate. I thought your shot at Nestor Cortez was a little bit harsh. Like that guy had a heck of a year. Like, and he was nothing before that. Former Oriole.
Yeah, I was at his last game when he gave up a grand slam that went like 490 feet.
I was like, you got to take a shot at Nasty Nestor. I mean, the guy, he's a nice story.
Yeah, but I will kick them when they're down every single time.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah,
that's what. Again, the same guy was like, you can't crap on Nestor. He had a great year, and I said, you guys fucking
I play chicken shit baseball.
Yeah, it was like you guys booed and were yelling shit at Felix Bautista as he was hurt. Like, I have zero sympathy for anything Yankees related. Like, just
how about the Yankee fans just giving up on the team yesterday, and then Bryant, and then BA and Frank Core and those guys in the booth be like, it's really loud in here. It's like there were full sections of the upper deck that had no people in them.
You could get in for $21 at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
in October.
Best fans. That was the only thing I in my Pinstripe Taylor couldn't defend the Yankee fans. That was a terrible showing. Show up to the game.
Would you want to go either?
Yeah, I would have gone support my team.
Rain delay, or well, not a rain delay, but it was supposed to, bad weather.
Yeah, I would have gone to if this was the Orioles, I would have gone. I would have gone to the game.
I'm saying, like, Yankee fans were so sick. I mean, yeah, they didn't want to go to the funeral, but I don't know.
Well, they all hate Aaron Boone, so maybe they could have gone and booed Aaron Boone and Cashman. I would have gone and cheered for Booney. Cheered for him.
He's a dork. Not even
that was a nice
he's the
gesture.
Third best
Dusty
baseball player in
Baker.
his family.
That was a nice gesture with Dusty Baker, though. Going and waiting outside for him in the locker room.
Yeah, he just waited for the cameras to go over there too.
That was very classy.
Maybe he could learn something from the guys in that locker room, how to fucking win in October.
Banks, who's your Nick Cannon Radley Maryland person of the week?
I'm going with Team Black. Yeah. Rhaenyra Targaryen's about to go on a warpath. Justice for Luke. No spoilers, though. I won't keep going.
I don't know any of these names you're saying.
House of the Dragon has delivered a big-time first season, and I can't wait for it to come back.
How many seasons of this are there going to be?
I think like 4.
God damn it.
Oh, there's more spinoffs coming, Eric. So
of course there are. This is going to be this is going to turn into Fast and Furious.
Well, the books are written for a lot of these different.
I didn't like the negative connotation that was set in.
Yeah, you're going to end up with dragons.
Me and RDT might be feuding right now.
You're going to have The Rock riding a dragon like to fight a satellite in like 2 seasons max. Jason Statham's going to be showing up anytime
you're
soon.
Just such a pawn. You're just one of those plebes down in Flea Bottom who just have no idea what's going on.
I don't.
All the who's down in Whoville?
You know what?
Basically.
We listened to The Grinch today. My daughter wanted to listen to it.
So good. I love The Grinch.
There's just holiday dysmorphia in the RDT household.
We were painting pumpkins.
What are you guys doing?
We were painting pumpkins while watching the Mickey Mouse Christmas episode on Disney Plus. I don't control the TV.
Wow. Did you watch Elf after?
No. We went back to Nightmare Before Christmas. Fantastic movie.
Second straight week for me. Person of the week. Miss Taylor Allison Swift. Banger album. Nailed it again. 10 consecutive good albums. It's a run unlike anyone in music history. If you want my takes on it, my top songs are on Twitter and Instagram. So if you want to come for me there. She's the best. She's on Jimmy Fallon in like 20 minutes. So I'm going to turn that on. We're done.
I was going to say.
And then there's the Bejeweled music video drops at midnight. There's rumors that she announced a tour at the Fallon taping. So that is that will be dominating your boy's summer if that's truly the case.
Check mark pertinent.
Yeah,
on the wire.
That is going to be a long discussion. RDT, would you go to a Taylor Swift concert?
I've worked one. I was at one. It was fine.
When
it was at FedEx.
Reputation?
Yeah. I think I was at
you worked
I think it was 2 nights. Yeah, the restaurant I worked at had a stand on club level. I was in there listening to sound checks and like doing all that stuff.
I was in there for both shows.
Yeah. I thought it was fine. Like, it was awesome. I think it was an awesome show. It was fun. Like, I went with people like our friends who were working with us, like, were not Taylor Swift fans. And I remember leaving and they were like, we're Swifties now. Like, I think Camila Cabello opened for her, right?
Yep.
Yes. Your
Mhm.
boy was in the building.
Correct.
That was awesome. The big Cobra for Bad Blood. Your boy remembers. Yeah, that was dope.
The Cobra came out for
I
Look
thought it was
What You Made Me Do, but
Yes, that's what it was. I'm sorry. Yeah. Would I go to one? Probably not. But Lauren has completely come around on Taylor Swift. I woke up-
Woo! Yeah.
Taylor, I don't think you
Wow.
Uh-huh.
know this. Brian knows it. Lauren
I
hated Taylor Swift.
think no, I've heard this. I've never spoken with her about it, but I have heard about this before. We have talked about this before.
Woke up
Mhm.
on Friday. She's getting ready for work with her AirPods in and was like, I'm listening to some new Taylor Swift. It's like, it's 6:00.
Everybody comes around.
Yep.
Everybody comes around. And also the best part is then everyone like who doesn't really like this one, they're just like, oh, I wish she was just doing what she did on Folklore. Or, ooh, I just wish she was doing what she did in 1989. Or, ooh, I just wish this was like Reputation. Because everybody has an album that they like. That's the thing. That's the one of the reasons why Taylor Swift gets criticized for new music is because people just want her to continue to do the one thing they like that she did. But you can't stop her evolution. So stop trying. Just enjoy what she ends up doing. No, this is not a perfect album. There's some songs on it that I'm not a huge fan of, but man, are there a lot of songs that are good. And yes, is it a lot of it a very, very moody and sad listen? Absolutely. I've had multiple people tell me that they listened to the Taylor Swift album and put them in a worse mood because of how sad some of the songs were. That's just what Taylor does. The songwriting is incredible. Antihero banger, Lavender Haze banger, Mastermind banger, Karma banger, Vigilante shit, an absolute evisceration of that fool Scooter Braun. That fool just taking a task. What else? Maroon, great. Would have, could have, should have. John Mayer should be on witness protection. Bejeweled is gonna be a hit. She's broken all the records. She's gonna sell 1.6 million physical albums in 2022. That's legitimately impossible. Guess how many Beyonce sold in her first weekend? It's not a shot at Beyonce, who I like.
Oh, it sounds like it is.
190,000
Ooh.
physical albums. Taylor Swift sold 1.6 million. There's gonna sell 1.6 million. It's disgusting. And yes, is it because some of us, like me, bought the 4 albums to make the clock out of? Yeah. But that's just good marketing.
That's great marketing.
That's just good marketing. I love Taylor Swift. I will go. There has never been a hill that I've died on more, other than Mike Trout being a loser, than Taylor Swift being the biggest winner of all time. I just follow her to the ends of the earth. The best. Just the best. Any honorable mentions? Banksy, I know you like the album as well.
I do. I need to listen to it more to really feel it all out, but yeah, it's a good album for sure. I've got apple cider. I don't know that apple cider gets all the love that it deserves. It's an elite juice. It really is. If I could drink it year round, I would.
I was gonna say it hits hard this time. Like it's perfect.
Pumpkin
Perfect.
this, pumpkin spice that. Forget that bullshit. Apple cider is where it's at.
Yeah, I agree. Apple cider, I think, is an elite drink this time of year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Warm it up.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with apple cider.
I kind of like that it's like a limited thing though. Like I don't know if I'd want to drink it all the time. I think I like it more again because I know it's like I'm not going to drink a ton of it, but I'm going to get my fill of it during this time.
Oh, it hits. I mean, I plan to keep it going at least through Thanksgiving.
That's how I feel about stuffing.
You warm it up. I mean,
I
toss a little
stuffing all
rum in
year.
it, a little spice, a little nutmeg or something, cinnamon even. Like heat it up in the microwave, just warm it up.
Yep. Hottie toddies.
Yeah, basically. And I got the Bears just with that clapping of the Patriots tonight. That's good stuff.
Got ugly.
Yeah. Poor Mac Jones.
Belichick inching towards the end here.
Who looks worse, Belichick or Brady?
Or Boone.
That's gonna be I can't wait for that on First Take tomorrow. Don't come on. First of all, First Take doesn't talk about baseball, so that will not be on First Take at all.
I didn't say anything about First Take. You did.
I did. I don't need your Booney slander in my time of my I'm just in bliss talking about Taylor Swift, and you're bringing up Booney. Justice for Booney. And if Booney ends up being on the TBS set next year instead, that's fine. I can't wait to watch him.
He should be working at a fucking Kinko's.
You stink. You stink. You stink. I can't wait till the Dundalk Mafia comes and just takes you from your house.
The legit thing that could happen, though.
Yeah.
Save this recording.
What is behind your left shoulder right now? Is that an elephant?
Yeah. Where is he? This one?
That was the only one that was in view. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Spider-Man. There's a Mickey. There's a cat and a Beanie Baby. Gang's all
you
here.
guys watch the Beanie Baby?
Yeah,
any
whole
of the
gang.
Beanie Baby documentary on HBO
No.
Max?
No, I want to,
would-
but I did not.
I might get into that.
I want to watch the
Yeah, it's
Barney
good.
one too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick.
You know who's on? You guys know who's on Barney?
Ariana, right? Selena.
Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez.
Sick.
Dead or alive? Banks.
Stephen Hawking.
Alive. No.
Dead.
Dead. Dead.
Is a final answer?
Dead.
Dead.
He's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
He died.
Yeah.
Died in 2018.
I would have
Yeah.
said 2020.
But he was a big time. I can't believe that guy's alive guy for a long
Huge
time.
dead or alive guy. Huge dead or alive guy.
Yeah. So enough time has passed where I was like, oh yeah, maybe this one slips under the radar.
Yeah. Old Stevie.
Rip.
Dead.
Yeah. 76.
Heck of a run.
Good run.
Yeah.
Yikes.
By the yeah, he did great stuff. He did great stuff. I'm reading all of his. Can you guys guess in 2002 where he got ranked in the BBC's poll of the 100 greatest Britons? See if you guys can gauge his significance.
3.
7.
3? Oh, too high. 25.
Well, I got to hear all 24 now.
I guess I value him more than they do.
Where's David Beckham?
Winston Churchill, number 1.
Okay.
Is Lombard Kingdom Brunel, number 2.
Of course.
Sure.
Diana, Princess of Wales, number 3. A little high for me.
A little
Overrated.
Charles Darwin, number 4. I mean, Charles Darwin has got to be higher than Diana. No disrespect to Diana. I got love for Diana, but it's just like Charles Darwin is a big deal.
Where is
CD?
Where's Attenborough on that list? Or is he not?
Let me go through it.
Yeah, go.
Shakespeare, number 5. I mean, Isaac Newton, number 6. Diana is too high.
Strength of schedule. Who did he? He didn't play nobody, Paul.
Isaac Newton didn't play anybody?
He didn't play nobody.
That's bad.
All he had to do was beat like the plague.
This is why we got to go back to the BCS. They would have had Isaac Newton way higher.
Yeah, when he won big, but he didn't play nobody.
Elizabeth the First, 7th. John Lennon 8th. I'm starting to think John Lennon and Diana. That's a die young, become a legend thing. Sorry about it. John Lennon, big deal though. Horatio Nelson, number 9.
Not much of a peak, but they were Terrell Davis. Like they weren't around long.
John Lennon had a huge peak.
That's what he said. Like Chris Johnson.
Horatio Nelson, number 9. Oliver Cromwell, number 10. Where's the rest of this list? Why is it not? What is Wikipedia doing?
You got to donate more to them. They're 500
Yeah,
pop.
don't just scroll by.
How do they not have the full list? I'm gonna find this. Oh, there we go. Complete list can be found on the BBC's website. Oh, they have them alphabetically. Oh, this is so stupid.
That's a
Beckham is
Taught them how to build a list.
Beckham is in there though.
Yeah. In 2002, this is a 2002 list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he may. How is he not number 1?
Julie Andrews, Jane Austen, David Attenborough is in there.
Of course he is. Legend.
Yeah, he's in there.
And his brother.
Yeah, Johnny Lennon. Is McCartney in there too? Yeah, he's in there. Are all the Beatles gonna be in here? Freddie Mercury's in there.
Ringo.
Yeah, Ringo.
Yeah,
My
put
No
in
Ringo.
what?
No Ringo.
He should be in there for
Yeah,
Thomas the
Ringo.
Tank Engine alone.
The Unknown Soldier is in there as a singular. Interesting interpretation.
Huh.
Yeah, that's very open to interpretation.
Robbie Williams, William Wallace, Queen Victoria. Interesting stuff. Oh, I wonder
William
if
Wallace?
J.K. Rowling in there now would not be in there now.
Yeah,
Yeah, J.K.
Things that-
Rowling.
Throw that on there. Things that didn't age well.
Yeah, people do not like J.K. Rowling right now. Ooh. They should bring back Sports Century. I enjoyed Sports Century.
Bring back ESPN Classic.
Yeah. They should bring back ESPN Classic as a channel on ESPN Plus that just rolls
An
the channel. Like, that'd be fun. Yeah. Yeah. What'd you guys think of Secretariat's rankings in Sports Century list?
I haven't thought about the Sports Century list in a long time.
No, I'm not.
You guys,
Where was Secretariat?
Wasn't he like
top 5 was Jordan, Ruth, Ali, Jim Brown, Gretzky.
Okay.
Secretariat was Man of War was 84th.
Hmm.
So Secretariat's got to be higher. Where the hell is Secretariat? Secretariat 35 between Lou Gehrig and Oscar Robertson. It's a hell of a job. It's a hell of a horse.
decent?
Arnold Palmer 29th.
Yeah. Oh,
Wonder if Tiger made this list.
Arnie Palmer.
They put OJ Simpson on it.
Whoa.
Separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, OJ stopped it. I guess
That
you could
was
say
a
the
very
same thing for Jake.
Paulie Walnuts. Whoa, from me there.
They put 3 horses on there. They put Citation on here too. Mario Andretti might be too high.
We've
I don't know.
reached the Taylor's Lost in the
Yeah,
Wikipedia
Wikipedia
portion of the show
Yeah.
here.
I love lists are so fun. We should just debate a list every week. I love lists.
Pre-existing
lists.
lists.
Yeah.
Starting 5 of
Pre-existing
list
numbers.
websites.
Mm.
Sporkle.
Sporkle.
Sporkle's elite.
The best.
I love Sporkle. What a
Somebody
great
showed me
college time
Sporkle, like
waster.
our whoever was like running our orientation at Maryland my freshman year, like just showed us Sporkle, and that person's like an idol for me at this point. Sporkle's everything.
Yeah. One of the great college time wasters.
What do you mean college time wasters? Still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like twice a year I go
haven't
on a Sporkle
Sporkled in a
kick.
while. Yeah. I got on there in a while.
I
There's
just
some-
lose an entire day to Sporkle.
There was some good someone made a good Orioles one this year, and it was like naming every Orioles all-star since like 2000. And it was there, like there were some you forget some. It was good though. Fun.
All right.
time.
On that note, me getting lost in the sauce is exactly when the show could end. Follow us on social media at Barstool Banks, at EDITTI22, at Taylor Smite 10, at X52 Podcast, and all of our social media platforms. Rate and review the podcast. That always helps us. Go watch it on YouTube if you'd like to do that. You can support all of our sponsors, Third Level Midnight, Fed Thrill, Jimmy Seafood. All of them do tremendous work. All of them deserve your support. We will see you on Thursday night. This is going to be like 3 podcasts in 6 days or 5 days. We will be back for the instant analysis after Bucs and Ravens, and I'm sure after a Panda kickball victory. Pandas 9 points out of 9, kicking ass in kickball, kicking ass in Flip Cup, taking names. We'll see you in the championship game, and we'll see you next time on the Exit 52 podcast presented by Jimmy's Seafood.